Hey guys, what is up? Hope you are doing well and watching my videos. If you are, just give this video a big thumbs up and consider to subscribe and like my channel. So in today's video we're gonna learn the basics of JavaScript. As you know, we have learned a lot in JavaScript. Well, I mean, not a lot, but we have learned something that we can show people that yeah, we have learned this. But today we're gonna learn about numbers in JavaScript, like how JavaScript works with numbers and how you can work with numbers. And in today's video, yeah, we are just going to learn this, and it's going to be an amazing way to how to learn it. And yeah, so without any further ado, let's get started. So guys, first of all, I have opened our JavaScript buttons file, which I did have. Let me show you. VS Code. Okay, so over here, as you can see, we created this file like a way before when we started doing JavaScript, and we have this old stuff, okay, which we did. Okay, and I'm just gonna ignore this thing because we are right now focusing on numbers, and it's nothing to do with like right now coding or stuff like this. It is coding, but we are not going to be using our our code editor. Okay, and I'm just gonna save it, and then I'm gonna come back to my browser. Let's see. Okay, good to go, but this isn't good. Well, I'm just gonna leave it alone. So guys, now what you have to do is you have to right click on the file you have just opened. We just also have a JavaScript file, and then click on not view page source, click on inspect. Now once you are on inspect, come to console, which is right over here. Okay, now I'm just gonna make my terminal a bit bigger so you can see. Okay, now we have this kind of interface, and now I know you will be like, what is this? So it's like a Google terminal, or yeah, so it's like a terminal of Google where you can test things out like JavaScript and stuff like that. If you don't believe me, look, if I would type alert, look, it did respond to this. So it's like kind of a code editor too. Okay, but right now we don't need it, so I'm just gonna clear everything if I can. Yep. So now, how do you actually work with numbers? Now if I would type 1 over here, and if I would press enter, it will give me an output of 1. Okay, so it will give me the output because it knows what I'm saying. Okay, so let me just zoom in. Okay, fine. Now I'm zoomed in. Okay, so as you can see, I typed 1 and it gave me the result of 1. Okay, now if you would do the same thing, you're gonna see the same results. Okay, depending on what number you have put in. Okay, for example, if you have put in 2, it's gonna give you 2. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 100, it will give you 100. Okay, so yeah, that's how actually you can work with numbers. Now this is not it. Okay, you'll be like, is that it? Like, is this video that this is what you do with numbers? No. So as you know, in maths, like we do like subtraction, adding, multiplication, and a lot of more stuff in maths. Now JavaScript and maths are really related to each other. Like we all know that like maths is in everything. It exists in everything, like computer and every stuff. Like even if you want to learn computer, you need to know maths and science. So both of them are related to programming and coding. For example, if you're doing Python, or if most of you might be doing it, so if you're doing it, you would know that in Python you use a lot of numbers and like divisions in your mind, like what is going to be the length of my app or stuff like this. And even web development, when you're using images in web development and you're putting in your images on your website, how should it look, what should be the padding and stuff like that. Okay, you add like some width, that what will look good. Like you don't want it to be too zoomed in or too zoomed out, or you, for example, sometimes you want it on in the middle, sometimes you want it on left, right, and we all use numbers. Okay, in CSS, as you can see, CSS is like filled with numbers. You just type something and then add a number. Like for example, I don't know. I can't think of one right now. But you know, you use a lot of numbers in CSS. Same for JavaScript now. Now HTML we don't use much, but if you don't have CSS, your website wouldn't look cool. Okay, it wouldn't look beautiful. And is that it has a lot of things behind it except from the styling. And same for JavaScript. If you don't have JavaScript in your website, it's not functional. Okay, so yeah, so JavaScript, CSS, HTML, these are very important languages, and these does require your math skills. Okay, for example, subtraction and multiplication, division, and a whole lot more. So now if I would do just give me a sec. So now if I would do 100 minus 100, now you can see it's already giving me the result. But if I would press enter, you can see it says 0, and we all know it would be 0. But JavaScript is actually trying to tell you, yes, I know what this means. I know how math works. Like JavaScript knows how math works. Okay? Now, you can test a lot of things in your terminal or in your Google terminal. Now, if you're using Microsoft Edge, I think it does have the same thing. But I think we have to check. Let me see. But most of the time people do use Google Chrome only, and same for me, because Google Chrome provides you with many beautiful and a lot of things. Okay, let's see, where's my cursor gone? Yeah, so inspect console. Yeah, it does give you the terminal. Yeah, so it's good, right? So now I'm gonna open up my Google because I use Google. Okay, so guys, now as you can see, we have like done subtraction and just number, like for example, as I entered 1 and gave me the result of 1, because it knows if I'm asking him to if I'm saying in 1 and I'm not asking anything, or I'm not entering any command like I did over here, subtracted, I said subtract. Okay, it did subtracted it, but over here I didn't give the command. Okay, I did 1 and then I pressed enter. Okay, and then it gave me 1 because it doesn't know what to do now, because I didn't give it a command. For example, subtract it, add it, or multiply it. Now you can't also do this. It's gonna give you an error. Oops, it didn't. Wait, it's still giving you an error. But if I would do 2 minus 2 equals to 0, it will give me uncaught syntax error, invalid left hand side in assignments. Now don't worry about this bit. Okay, this bit, don't worry. But why is it saying that? Because that's the right answer. You don't have to tell it the answer. I mean, when we are going to be working with JavaScript, like exactly with JavaScript, we will tell it what to do if that would be the case. For example, if we are creating a maths website, like maths, okay, and then we have a question or quiz website, and we have a question, for example, what is 2 times 2? We're not gonna just leave it as we're not just gonna do like 2 times 2, and then we are going to tell it like what you're supposed to give. If this is the question, you have to, this is the correct answer, I mean, okay? So you can't, if I ask someone 2 times 2, and if they would say 6, I wouldn't say, yeah, that's right, because 2 times 2 is 4. So I wanted to tell it the correct answer is 4, okay? And it's not 6 or 8. Any other answers are invalid or wrong, okay? In JavaScript, they would say invalid, but in when we're going to be showing it, they're not going to say like invalid. It's going to be like wrong, okay? Or if you got it correct, because we have given it the command that yes, go ahead and not print, it's Python, if we are doing JavaScript. So it's not gonna say, it's not gonna be like for example, if someone would be like 2 times 2 6, it's gonna be like, no, it's wrong. But if we would have said if we would have given the command to JavaScript or to our VS Code, or like we don't have to call it VS Code, so for example, if you're doing JavaScript, and if we would have said or commanded it like that, if this is the question, the answer should be this, and this should be the correct one, okay? And then if we wouldn't have said that, then it would have given us an error, or not error, but the person would have just gone through it. It wouldn't have told it that it's wrong or correct. Okay, and that's like a totally rubbish website you will make if that would be the case. Because, like, for example, let's just say there's a maths test going on, and like lockdown was there like a few months ago. Okay, and then imagine if that would be the website they would have given you, and they would have asked you, what is 2 times 10, and then you would be like, oh, it's 35, and then the code written behind that application or website wouldn't have said the right answer, that this would be the right answer if that would be the case. Then they would have just went through, and then the result the teacher would receive would be 100% for everyone. So no. So when you do something in maths or anything, any website, any quiz website, and also many other things, for example, when we are making a button responsive, we do actually tell it what to do. Well, not responsive, when we make it clickable. So if we click on it, it takes to a link. How? We don't just do btn and then press enter and that's it. We do tell it what to do. Okay, so now if I would do 2 plus 2, it will give me 4. Okay, so it's all about numbers. You can test any numbers, even decimals. 32.2 plus 2, it will give you the decimal even. Okay, you can see. Or if I would do, let's give it a complicated one. Let's see if it can solve. I know it will. 23.4 plus, oops, not that, plus let's say 24.89. So yeah, it did give me the right answer. Okay, so as you can see, JavaScript is a lot of numbers and stuff like that, and yeah, you will go through it, you will learn it a lot. That it doesn't matter if you're rubbish at maths, you will be better in maths if you would practice JavaScript. Like, not lying, it does makes you better, because all you're doing is you're thinking, how would it be, what if I would give this, for example, in CSS, what should be the width, what should be the height, and stuff like this. Okay, so for example, now if I would do let's just do 48 times, let's see if that does helps, not 8, if I would say like, let's just say 2. Okay, it does gives us the answer that 96. And if you don't believe this terminal, you can check it. So calculator. Okay, oops, where it went. Okay, I don't need to use it, but let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so if I would do, what was the thing? 48 times 2. So if I would do 48 times by 2, 96. You see? So it's all about terminals and stuff like this. Okay, and about this thing, syntax error, don't worry about it right now. We are going to learn what these are and how to solve it, how to get through this. But if you still want if you're still too worried that what should I do when I get this error, go to Slack. No, am I saying it right? Let me see. No, Slack, not Slack. Slack is something else. Do not go on Slack. It's Stack Overflow, and most of you might know it, what Stack Overflow is, and it really helps web developers, software, any programming language you have, and then you have learned, and then you're having issues with it. Just search the question and then space and then write Stack Overflow, and then there's more chances of you getting the right answer. Because in Stack Overflow there are lots of questions people are asking and then getting the result. Okay, so you can search over there what syntax error is, but it's basically, you don't have to worry right now. It's just nothing to do right now with it. But when we are going to be learning terminal commands and stuff like that, then we might need to learn it, and yeah, we must learn it. Okay, and yeah, so that's it for today's video. If you like this video, give this video a big thumbs up and consider to subscribe. I'm gonna see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye and take care.